So something that I like to go over in each of these courses is the design factors. I think this is really important because people tend to get stuck in a one way to do things right. And it's just not the case when it comes to tiny houses. Everybody has their own reasons for choosing to live tiny. They have their own reasons for making the decisions they do along the way. So I just like to point out that, just because your reasons don't line up with someone else's doesn't mean you're wrong and they're right, or vice versa. Everybody makes their own decisions. Kind of the main design factors that people make those decisions off of are budget. Budget is what gets a lot of people interested in the tiny house movement to start with, but it's not everybody. Some people really like the lifestyle of it, and the budget is not an issue for them. The weight is obviously a factor. When you're dealing with something on wheels, you have a finite amount of weight you can put on it. Environmental issues become important to people, sometimes more than others, if they're chemically sensitive, or if they're allergic to certain systems, or some people are really sensitive to propane use, so they're going to avoid propane in all of their systems in their house. That doesn't mean they're wrong. It means they're doing it differently than you. Timeline can be a big factor. Some things, they cost a lot less, but they take a lot longer. Usually you're exchanging time for money some way or another. Aesthetics are deeply personal and a little higher on the list for some people than other people. And then, of course, how many hands do you have to help? And then function. Everybody leads a different life, and the cool thing about tiny houses is they're reactive to you personally. So just because somebody else chooses to do one thing over another, don't think that's the only right way to do things. There's a lot of right ways to do things. The best thing you can do is educate yourself about the systems and the choices that you have, because every option out there was invented to solve a problem. So the more you understand it, the more likely you're able to make sound decisions for yourself. But please don't consider yourself or anyone else wrong or right based on how they're doing things. Safety, of course, is key, but there's a lot of factors that go into every decision of a tiny house.